Girls and boys, welcome to today's reading lesson, and this is the final one in our unit on nonfiction. We have looked at so many books, we've talked about so many things. I thought it would be a good idea to go back and review some of the things that we've learned. So, of course, we read a lot of books about animals and some about science, especially the books that you borrowed from me. And we saw that a lot of books have similar patterns. Like all of these National Geographic books followed a certain pattern that was the same from book to book. And of course, they were all written by Laura Marsh or Melissa Stewart, the same four or five people. But that's a good way to know, to prepare for a book when you know who wrote it and what part of a series it is, because that might help you understand how the book is going to go. Okay, and we also looked at books from these series which had their own unique styles, and we learned how to compare books. And of course, we spent a lot of time with certain authors, especially one of my favorites, Gail Gibbons. So, at the beginning of the unit, we learned that nonfiction readers grow knowledge. Okay, we read nonfiction books because we want to learn something. And we learned that it's very important to pay attention to details and put the parts of the text together in your mind. So we're not just looking at the sentences, we're looking at the pictures, the captions, all of the other things that are around, and we're trying to put them all together to get a better idea of what's happening. We should ask questions when we read books. They should make us think, and we should wonder what else we could learn and what other information the book might have for us. And we have to understand and use key words, okay? Just like when we read the Scholastic News, we see those bold words or highlighted words, we learn them, and then we should try to use them. That way we can have better vocabulary, we can learn more lingo, and we can start to become experts. And we can tell other people about what we've read and learned. In this unit, we also saw words that were longer, they were more difficult. A lot of lingo usually is difficult. And what we said was that when words are tricky, we would roll up our sleeves. And we talked about lots of strategies for figuring out words, like checking the picture and thinking what would make sense. And use what's happening in the story. Look through the whole word part by part. Remember, we did that a lot where we broke up words like tambourine, syllable by syllable, because we want to be able to read it, to say it, okay? And of course, we want to know how we can figure out what it means. Look for words inside of words. And if you get stuck and there's no one that you can ask, don't give up. Try something. Take a guess, okay? Reread the word. Try saying it out loud and make sure it sounds right. Maybe you've heard it before. Use vowel teams and ask what a different sound help. So remember, sometimes if we see a word like EA, that has an EA vowel team. It could be like head. It could be E, like beach. It could be like heart. Okay. It could be like learn. So we try different combinations that we know. And then, like we said, we don't just say the words, we figure out what they mean too. Okay. It's no fun, and it's not really very useful to just read a word and not have any idea what it means. Okay, we want to ask questions about our reading. Do I know this word? Does it make sense? What might it mean? All right. And then in the third part of the unit, we said talk the talk, read to learn the lingo, which I just talked about a few moments ago. Expect and look out for keywords. After we finished reading one book on tigers, before we opened the second one, we had to think, what words might I see in this book? I'll probably see something about stripes, maybe cubs, maybe camouflage. Okay, so after we give the book a sneak peek, we have to try to imagine what the book is going to tell us. Look for and use features to help. The glossary is something we're putting in our own writing. The text boxes, the captions, the labels, the graphs, the diagrams. There's so many things in some of these books. It's not just sentences. The writers are giving us lots of tools to learn. Okay, and that's connected to this. Use the whole page to figure out what keywords mean. Sometimes they'll give us a picture, but they'll also give us maybe like a tiger term or water words. You might remember those from the dolphin and tiger books. Okay, they'll give us different ways of learning a word, not just one. In some books, like in the Gail Gibbons books, she'll give you a picture and then she'll explain it in a sentence, but she won't give you a glossary. Okay, and then when you learn a new word, ask yourself, what's it like or similar to? So when we learned the word orbit, we might have learned the word revolve. Or when we learned the word rotate, we might have had to say, I guess that's like spinning. Okay? And finally, and this is so important, reread your book like an expert. Don't just read it once, go through it again. Make sure you've learned all of the key words and talk to somebody about it. Read the book to them. Tell them what you learned. Recommend a book to them. Reading friends, the world is full of books. So what I want you to do is to read as much as you can, not just the books that I assign or the ones that you borrow from me. If you go to the supermarket with mom, have a book with you. If you're going on a trip to grandma's house, have a book with you. You're going to be on an airplane, put that video game down for a half hour. It's okay. It does you so much good to read. If you can't sleep at night, turn on a night light and read for a few minutes. You'll learn more, you'll be entertained more, you'll become better spellers, and you will know more about the world. And you'll be better writers, too. All right, girls and boys, that's the end of this reading lesson and this reading unit. Something new is coming up. Have a great day. The end.